Welcome back, everyone. So I was able to get into the Wildgate Preview. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. It was open for people to try. I mean, anyone can get in there and try to sign up for it. You can head over to the Dreamhaven website. It is the studio that Mike Morheim, who used to be the Blizzard CEO, has decided to create. And it's been a couple years now, but he's finally having some fruits from his creation of this particular studio. And it's been pretty fun. They'll have other games as well they're working on, but this is one of the ones that's popular right now and is getting ready to come out. So it's all in a preview state, but here in a bit, hopefully it will be released to wider audience later this year. So it is a PvP VE type of gameplay. And right now you can see I'm showing in the intro the PvE element. There's kind of different dynamics to it. You can see there's an oxygen drain element where you can have oxygen drain. You can also have a potential opportunity for no healing. Right now, if you don't take any damage, you automatically heal that HP back. But if you're in a HP non-regen section, then you're not going to be able to regain that. You need to have someone heal you instead. So there is some elements to help increase the danger or the challenge of the PvE areas. But obviously most people are going to be probably drawn more to the PvP element. And then once you complete the PvE, though, you do get loot that you can use to better your fights in PvP. That being said, if you want to just do PvP, you can also board other ships and you can take the stuff that other people have. So that's also a dynamic that you could take on instead and just go about pirating everybody else. So it just depends on your gameplay style. Additionally, there's different kinds of ships. The ship I'm shooting at now is the more defensive type of ship. Actually, it may not be. I can't tell the HP from this small screen, but I think it's the defensive one. And at any rate, there's four kinds of ships. There's a basic one that everyone starts with, which has 3 guns up front. And those could be all upgraded, of course. And then there's 2 guns in the back, so that's their kind of gun ship, and it's fairly generic, jack of all trades. And then there's a more defensive ship that allows you to have more HP. I'm shooting here at the artifact. I'll talk about that here in a minute. But the defensive ship allows you to actually secure your doors a bit better. It naturally comes with an alarm, so you can find out when people come onto your ship, and it has more HP. There's a faster ship that allows you to catch up to people a bit quicker, and then and it has faster speeds, both I think with the shields up and the shields down, much like Star Citizen. If your shields are down, you're in like a nav mode, and so you can go faster. If you put your shields up, you're going to be a bit slower, and so with that other faster ship, you can actually get around quicker because of the speed. There's also an assault ship that has kind of 6 guns up front. Unfortunately, they kind of have weird facings, and so I don't find it to actually be all that great, but it's meant for, assaulting other ships. That being said, it's fun too, but I think if you pick a ship, everyone gets to kind of pick their preferred ship. You're going to be grouped with other people with that kind of preferred ship, and so if you're into assaulting, you want to pick that as your preferred ship, and then you would play with that ship more often, and you would also play with people that are more interested in that kind of gameplay. If you're more defensive, you would take the defensive ship. Unless one of them becomes the meta and everybody just uses that one anyways, it's going to take some time to figure out what the meta is going to be, though. As I talked about the artifact where that guy was trying to shoot at him, the artifact is one of the winning conditions. However, in that particular case, you need to be able to go through the Wildgate to win the actual game. So the other win condition is what we've done here, which is killing the other ships. So if you're the last remaining ship, no matter how much HP you have left, you're going to be able to win the game because you're the actual winner. Once your ship dies, you have no respawn point, and you could still be alive for a temporary period of time, but once you die again, you're never going to be able to win the game anyways, but once you die again, you're just going to be out of the game. That being said, I think the biggest con to this so far is going to be the fact that your team could leave. You can see here I'm the only character on my ship right now, and it's devastating, right? I stayed in this game because I was playing against Fan Hots, who is a streamer that does Heroes of the Storm, and Hots is Heroes of the Storm. And essentially, I just wanted to kind of take my ship over to him before I left the game and just battle him out because he was actually getting a bit bored. It was his first game, and I just figured it'd be kind of fun. And that being said, I think Heroes of the Storm does a better job about this kind of lever thing than this game currently does. This game has no real mechanics to deal with this situation. If somebody leaves the game, you basically just leave too, and you may come out to the fact where when you start this game, it's 5 different ships with 4 crew people per ship. Well, in some instances, it's really 4v4 ships or something like that because one of the ships just may have a crew that completely left. So in some instances, it's just not as fun because crew members leave and it just makes the game unfun. That being said, it's still fun either way with the amount of dealing with engineering and the rapid pace the game takes on. But when your team leaves, it's really punishing. So with that, the Heroes of the Storm, the way they go about that is they give people a lever tag. and then they're grouped with other people that are leavers. So that's a good way to go about it. Additionally, you can't actually join another game until the game that you're currently in completes. Whether you leave it and just want to hang out in the lobby, that's up to you, on the home screen. But if you get back into a game, you try to join a game, it will join you into the game that's actively you're already attached to. So I think that's something that could be meaningful here as well. Because if you try to get into a game and you dedicate yourself to that game, I think you should be stuck to that game until it's completed. That completed could be your ship blowing up, or that completed could be the game actually ends because somebody's won. That being said, like I said, I don't have a lot of cons to it. I did enjoy it. It is very arcadey compared to something like Star Citizen. You can see here I'm on the assaulter ship, so it doesn't have, all these guns don't point really, there's 6 up front, but they don't really point meaningfully into a way that they could be really useful up front. And with Star Citizen, there's quite a few challenges too with the crews and the gameplay. Compared to this, though, it's obviously very arcadey and much more like Overwatch. So when you're taking that into consideration, it's really fun to have an arcadey game, but with Star Citizen, it doesn't have that dynamic, so it's hard to compare the two. But I think it's still good if you had Star Citizen buddies, you wanted to play this game and kind of do multi-crew and see how well y'all work together. This is a good opportunity for that, kind of like a team building type of situation. You can get in here, you can do some engineering, even though, again, it's not done in the same form. You can find somebody who likes engineering that's doing this. You can find a good driver who, again, the flying is not similar. I'm not saying any of these gameplay is like Star Citizen. I'm just saying you could take people in here and kind of do some small group gameplay, small crew, and figure out who's good at what and who likes to do what situations and how people do under pressure. So there's quite a bit that's transferable, I think, to kind of the Star Citizen experience, and that really just has to do with just the gameplay of it, giving that kind of chaos to the situation, seeing how people perform under that chaos, and then how people do with leadership, things of that nature, how people do with shot calling. We will hear in a bit. Some people are better about comms, and some of these gameplays, I don't get a whole lot of that, but in some instances, people were good at it, and it made it more fun when people were good about whether somebody is doing shot calling or it's just people making calls in general. But once you can defeat the other ships, it's quick and easy to just end the game. So it's been pretty fun.
We have so little help, we have to keep an eye on it. They keep trying to get in it.
So with this game, it's very close.
Yeah, I keep on killing like 3 of them.
So I'm listening to kind of the comms here as well. But this game, you can see my HP and our HP for the two. There's 2 only ships left. In the top right corner, you can see there's 205. So we're just having an all-out PvP brawl for the win. And it is very close. Like, we are at a dead heat on HP here. And we're just basically trying to knock the other person out, and vice versa. They're boarding our ship. This actually, I'm playing the ox type of guy, or the horse. You can see I can kind of see the different characters because of X-ray vision because of this. So this is kind of his perk. Each of the different characters have their own perks. The guy up here with 4 arms, he can attack other people's ships to do damage.
Keep shooting at their thing. They're low. They're low.
He probably should have came in there he'd probably do more damage with the turrets, to be honest. And then there's a kind of flying dude. He gets around a lot quicker, but he has less HP, and you can actually kind of go invisible. And then there is an engineer character that I actually like to probably play the most right now. But just hopping on the turrets here and making the right calls is what really can win you the game. You can see we actually go down to 1 HP here. That's how close this game was. We ended up winning it either way. We won it about 3 HP.
We got 2 health.
But going down to 1 HP definitely can make it close. So you can be on the winning side of such close calls. But then alternatively, you can also be on the other end where there's 2 ships left, like on this play, and we just are way outgunned here, and we have less HP, and it doesn't end well. So we have there's no comms in this one, so that could have made the difference. I don't know, but just sometimes you just don't win them, right? So yeah, it's fun to get to these final situations where it's a very close call. I was able to get quite a few wins. I think at this point I'm at like 15 wins or something like that. So it's definitely doable. And I've been playing only solo, so I haven't been playing with groups at all. Obviously that'll be a dynamic as well. They'll have to figure out if they want crews to play against each other. I think it'll be one of those things where it'll be better to have people that are already pre-made with their own type of crew, and those that are not playing as pre-made, just doing a free-for-all, would prio playing against other people that are doing the same thing, just joining with random people. But yeah, I really enjoyed the gameplay. There's quite a bit to kind of consider too from a strategy standpoint. There's kind of, you can see there's always a purple hue, but there's a purple storm you can get into. I think there's a firestorm as well. And if you have a special shield that you've looted, you take no damage from it. Well, if other people don't have that shield, then they take damage. So, and then some, you can see we have this lance here as well. We're going to be able to roast this particular ship. So you just need to understand the strategy of the game and take the advantages that you have against other ships. Now also, once you destroy another ship, you do take a lot of damage because it blows up, so you want to be mindful of that as well. The uncontrolled acceleration you see here is actually somebody using a tractor beam, so that's a pretty fun dynamic as well. So yeah, I don't know how much of this kind of stuff the developers for CIG can actually take a look at and pick up on, because there's quite a few fun dynamics here. Again, I'll say it for the last time, but I know this is arcadey and we can't take all of the same gameplay stuff here, but there's still a lot to be had and derived from around what makes this fun, and how Star Citizen right now is starting to build up on capital ships like the Polaris. And even something like, you know, putting crews like a Corsair and a Connie versus each other like this could be something they could duplicate and make a fun kind of alternative to this. I don't know how best they go about doing that. That's definitely, I'm open to people's comments on that. And maybe you can't really duplicate the possible success this game may find. And, you know, maybe people don't really want it, but I think it's so easy to have one tool that you can actually use to heal your ship, right? There's one engineering tool. Star Citizen has so many different tools that they have. I don't know how they're going to do that with engineering. I'm a little worried about it. Are you going to need, you know, a thingamajig and a whatchamacallit in order to actually heal your ship? You know, oh, you're supposed to use the thingamajig, but you have the whatchamacallit out. That just adds so much more complexity and chaos. Additionally here, it's fun to just level up quickly here, and you can just get rewards. AUC that's gathered up in Star Citizen can take a while to actually get that if you have smaller ships, so it's hard to get that same kind of progression out of the game compared to a game like this. I don't know how they continue to deal with those particular issues when people want to be able to buy new ships within a reasonable period of time. So all in all, I think this is a pretty big win, and I think I've already seen they've already done a bit of an event to somewhat esports this out. I don't know if it really will stick as an esport, but it definitely is pretty competitive and could be quite fun. Again, I imagine being a part of a predetermined and a preset team could be a lot more fun versus just going in and playing with other pugs. But even if you're playing with other people, people generally get the idea of the game, and it still makes it pretty easy to win the games. Again, overall, I'm still trying to figure out how to best loop in how Star Citizen works, but I'm worried about the engineering component of Star Citizen and how that will both positive or negatively affect the game, and how ships have to be managed by multiple people like this. Additionally, this was all pretty smooth, and even though it's a relatively new game, it was very smooth going, and so it's hard to say how Star Citizen will fare when it comes time to have a bunch of people in one particular spot and having to micromanage the different things going on with the ship, whether there's fires, whether there's fuses that need to be replaced, in order to actually have a successful time and really enjoy the experience. I don't know what else needs to be said here, but just again, I enjoyed it immensely. I recommend people try it out. It's one of those things where it takes a while to get into it. It can be a bit boring at first, but there's always something to do. Whether you're mining rocks, there's two kind of rocks to be mined. There's a red rock that allows you to get boost. That allows you to get to players or get away from players a little more easily in your ship when you're piloting. There's a blue kind of component that could be used for healing the ship, so that's also required as well. Or you could just be doing the PvE content. There's always something to be done. Just be looking for something to be doing in order to better make your ship more successful. There's quite a bit of equipment here, and quite a bit of guns to all be unlocked and used to add some variety to the game. There's different character types, and those all need to be balanced as well. So I look forward to seeing how they balance the characters, how they balance the equipment, how they balance the guns, and how they balance these ships to make it a fun experience. And overall, so far, I think it's been a pretty big win, and I look forward to see what else they come up with. The equipment, is interesting. There's healing bots you can lay down. There's bots that allow you to attack other people that you can lay down to attack enemy. But once you get an idea of what you like for your loadout and you can make that successful, it's pretty easy to get some wins. At the beginning, I like the ship naming stuff as well. I've named my ship Icarus, so I enjoy kind of looking at that. It's cool to see other people's ships. There's fish in ships as well, so all kinds of fun to be had. Anyways, I appreciate y'all checking out the video, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Let's get after it.